The recent video that came out in which they are calling for the killing of the mainstream and the most prominent Islamic scholars around the world, it is a proof and evidence that this group does not represent mainstream Islam. The recent threats by ISIS on people like myself and other imams will only increase us in motivation and enthusiasm to continue speaking against this group, because they just gave us something in our hands to prove that these people are a cult, these people do not represent Islam, these people do not represent the teachings of Islam, do not represent the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, do not represent the teachings of Ahlul Sunnah. And that's why we will continue countering groups like this. One of the reasons that ISIS had listed people like myself and other prominent imams around the world to be on the hit list, on the kill list, to be killed wherever we are, is because we are people are calling for integration and respect with others. And amongst the things that we've called for is what the Islam had taught us. The authentic teachings of the Sharia, the authentic teachings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is to abide by and to respect the land that you live on. That's what Islam is about. And if ISIS doesn't like it, well, ISIS doesn't like the authentic teachings of Islam. ISIS are the enemies of Islam. They've always been the enemies of Islam. More Muslims had suffered on the hands of ISIS. More Muslims have been killed on the hands of ISIS. And people like myself and imams in Australia and around the world, hands in hands, we will continue countering this ideology that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had warned of 1,400 years ago. And in that video, they proved it. When they mentioned the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, people from our own nation, from our own people will be speaking on our behalf, calling people to the hellfire. Without a doubt, I could see ISIS to be that group. They are the ones who are standing on the gates of the hellfire, inviting people to the hellfire under the perception of Islam. Islam is not ISIS, and ISIS is not Islam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us, and inshallah, we will continue to be strong, united against ISIS and any form of extremism, any form of radicalization. And my message is, we as Muslims, we are stuck in between two. An extreme from two elements. We are getting smashed from one side and another side. But inshallah, this is a proof, this is evidence for us that we are on the right path, the path of the authentic teachings of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran al-Kareem, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. We made you a balanced, moderate nation, and this nation is the nation of Islam, the nation of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, a balanced, moderate nation, the teachings and the authentic teachings of the Quran and Sunnah.
Came a long way from Guns N' Roses.